Hello everyone, today we are seeing about the power and functions of Supreme Court. We all know about that Supreme Court is the highest judicial authority in our country. It has more functions and powers than all other courts. Next, we see about the brief history of Supreme Court. The early stages. Supreme Court has been established in 1789 under the Article of 3 of the US Constitution. The Supreme Court has been limited influence and prestigious in initial stages. The initial structure has been formed in 1789. The modern era refers to 20th and 21st century. The Supreme Court started making important decisions about civil rights, government power and individual freedoms. It plays a big role in shaping laws related to equality, privacy and federal power. Today, the court was one of the most influential institutions in the United States. The next one is structure and composition. The structure of the Supreme Court is defined by the US Constitution and subsequent laws. 9 justices. The court is made of 9 judges, 1 chief justice who leads the court and 8 associative justices. Then the selection process. The president chooses nominees of the Supreme Court and Senate must approve them. This process often involves debates about the nominees' legal view and qualifications. Then current justices. As of 2022, John Roberts serves as a Chief Justice. 2 of the most recent appointments are Emmy 2020 and Brown Jackson 2022. The next one is power and responsibilities of Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has important duties to make sure laws follows the US Constitution and settle to legal disputes. Main powers: judicial review, resolving disputes, original judiciations are the main powers of the Supreme Court. First one is judicial review. The Supreme Court can cancel or remove the laws that go against the Constitution. This ensures that all laws follows under the country's highest legal rules. Then resolving disputes. The court helps settle disagreements between states, explains the meaningful of the federal law that acts as a final decision making for legal cases in the US. Original judiciation. In certain special cases like dispute between the states or cases involving foreign officials, the Supreme Court has the higher power to hear the first instead of lower courts. The landmark cases listing the images played a major role in shaping American law and society. In 1803, this case established a judicial review, giving the Supreme Court has the power to declare laws unconstitutional. In 1854, Board of Education case and the rule separate but equal. Education was unconstitutional. In 1873, this decision recognized abortion rights, ruling that the woman has a constitutional right to choose abortion. In 2015, Gorgeous legalized same-sex marriage across the United States. In 2022, this rule turned over Roe, meaning abortion rights are no longer protected at the federal level and are instead decided to individual states. A justice, a diverse group. The US Supreme Court consists of justices from different backgrounds, each bringing unique perspective to the court. Thus, some notable justices are mentioned. John Roberts, Chief Justice, since 2005, known for his careful and moderate approach to legal decisions. Thomas, support organisms, meaning he interprets the Constitution as it was originally written. He was known for stronger conservative views. Sonia, the first Latina justice, recognized for advocating social justice and showing empathy in her legal decisions. Brown Jackson, the first black woman on the Supreme Court, known for her law and civil rights. The process of appointing a Supreme Court justice in a highly political and involves several steps. Presidential nomination. The US President selects a candidate for the Supreme Court. This decision is influenced by the nominee's judicial belief, political views and need of the maintain balance in the court. Senate Judiciary Committee views. This committee in a Senate investigates the nominee's background, qualification and legal philosophy. They hold hearings where the nominee answers questions about their views on laws and justice. Senate confirmation vote. The entire Senate vote on whether they approve of the nominee. The simple majority is needed for the confirmation. In recent years, this process has become highly controversial with debates over the political influence in the Supreme Court appointments. The main controversy and criticisms about the Supreme Court legitimacy include public opinion, ethics, judicial activism, congressional oversight. First one is public opinion. The court decisions can be influenced by or impact public trust. Ethics, concerns about judges' ethical behavior and when they are should steps away from the cases. Judicial activism, debate over whether justices should strictly follow the constitutions or interpret it more broadly. Congressional oversights, questions about how much control should have the court's actions. Political reforms. Term limits, limiting justices' time on the court to reduce political influence and ensure regular turnover. Code of ethics, establishing ethical guidelines to ensure justices act fairly and transparently. Court packing, adding more justices to balance ideological differences. Limiting judicial review, reducing the court power in political cases, giving more authority to Congress under the President. Congressional oversight, strengthening Congress' role in monitoring and the court to maintain checks and balances. The conclusion. The US court is an essential part of American democracy, ensuring a balance between individual rights and the common goods. Its decision shapes the legal system and influences society. As time